In this video, Gwen Southgate reads passages about Britain's child evacuees during World War II from her memoir, Street Chronicles.
Evacuation, Part 3. On September 1st, 1939, the final destination for the evacuee children of Hatfield Street School was the small village of Lidlage in Dorset. There they were taken, one family at a time, into the village hall to be matched up with host families. The auction, pages 143 to 44. Inside the hall, my brothers and I stood on the stage in front of rows of seated local people who had been volunteered by some government official to take in as many evacuees as their house was deemed capable of absorbing. A few biographical details of the family on display were then followed by the question, "Who would like to take these children? Please raise your hand." It amounted to a public auction in which no money changed hands. And for me, a shy, self-conscious, overweight 10-year-old, it was excruciating to stand on that stage with my two brothers and hear the lady describe us in her unfamiliar, soft, West Country drawl. A nice little family, a girl of 10 and two boys, aged 8 and 7. We'd like to keep them together if we can, but the two boys are so young. Then came the wait for someone to bid. Oh, please, let someone want us. Suppose no one does. These thoughts raced through my head during a lengthy silence. But finally we heard the lady say, "Oh, good. Thank you very much. The Goulds, ain't it? Will Mrs. Gould know about Bertie's bedwetting, I now worried, or will I have to explain that to her?" In all fairness, a real effort was made to keep evacuee families together, under what must have been very difficult circumstances. With big families there was little choice, for few local families had a house large enough to take more than 2 evacuees. But we 3 were lucky. The Goulds had a huge attic space that easily held 3 beds, small canvas affairs, and not the height of luxury, but at least we were together, which was just as well. I think Bertie would have fallen apart completely without me as his substitute mummy. As it was, he cried himself to sleep that first night. I considered crawling into his bed to give him a cuddle in his misery, but those beds were awfully narrow. And there was also the thought of waking up in the morning with a wet nightie and having Mrs. Gould think I was a bedwetter too. She hadn't known about Bertie's bedwetting when she raised her hand at the auction, but she found the rubber sheet and the note that Mum had put in his suitcase, so I didn't have to explain that situation to her, thank goodness. I felt really sorry for Bertie, sobbing in the dark, much darker than anything we city kids had ever experienced on that first night away from home, and I kept myself awake, offering words of comfort until he eventually dropped off to sleep.